Someone just really interrupted me. But as I was saying, okay, so your moon in Libra, right? So Libra is ruled by the planet of Venus. Sagittarius is ruled by the planet of Jupiter. I'm kind of going to go into more in depth of that in the second video. It's going to be a lot more. I just kind of want you to understand like the basic fundamentals of astrology first. But Libra is, so I'm just going to go, okay, so it's also cardinal, I believe, yes, and then it's masculine, okay. So, anyways, Libras are a cardinal sign, okay? So there's, now I need to explain this to you better. So there is fixed, cardinal, and mutable signs, right? And I'll explain this as I go. It doesn't look like you have a lot of fixed, but I'm going to explain cardinal right now to you because it seems like that is Libra even? Hold on. I'm pretty sure Libra is cardinal unless I'm like, cardinal. I should never doubt myself. It is a cardinal sign. Okay, good. So I just want to make sure that everything's on point for you. So Libra is a cardinal sign. Cardinal means that you take action. You don't wait for things to come to you. You don't wait for people to come to you. You don't wait for jobs to come to you. What you want in life, you will go and take your own action to go get. Okay, but we're talking in relation to your moon sign. However, like I said, your chart ruler is Capricorn, okay? Capricorn is also a cardinal sign. So I'm seeing overall that you probably lean towards being a go-getter. When you want something, whether it be a guy, whether it be a job, whether it be getting a cat, like my cardinal ass did impulsively, because when I want things, I go and I get them. And I don't wait for people, okay? So you are probably pretty, like, you make the moves. You're the boss, okay? When you want something, you're gonna go get it. And that's a really good thing. Like, that's a great quality to have. It can lead to sometimes being a little impulsive and not thinking things through as much as you should. However, in my opinion, I think that being cardinal is like the best of all of them because you know what you want. And you're gonna go get it, and you take action on things, because there's a lot of people, especially now, that tend to just wait for things to come to them and think that they're magically going to appear, and that's not how things work, especially like I don't know. Anyways, I'm gonna go off on another tangent if I keep going. So anyways, let's talk, but we're talking about your moon sign right now. So, but overall, yeah, it's cardinal sign, you take action, right? And so that means you take action with your emotions, since the moon, like I said, is ruling your emotions, how you react to things, how you feel inside, your deepest self, right? So when you feel some type of way, that person is going to know how you feel. You're not going to hide your feelings. You're going to act on your feelings. So if you're upset about something, if you're sad about something, if you're angry about something, and I don't see you really having an angry chart, maybe a little bit irritable with this Capricorn ruling your chart. Capricorns can be super moody and irritable, but they're not a very angry sign. Sagittarius definitely aren't. But I would say more is if, you get moody or something bothers you, or your friend does something that just annoys you, or you feel some type of way about it, you're probably going to say something. You're probably not just going to be passive and let things slide. However, Libra is the scales, right? Balance. Libras love balance. So you want balance within your emotions. You try not to get too all over the place and scattered and off and on and whatnot. You want to stay in, you want to stay balanced, and you're Libra's moon, so your emotions are probably pretty balanced within yourself. I don't see you being a super, easily, all of a sudden, I'm an Aries moon, right? So, all of a sudden, I'll be totally fine, and all of a sudden, one little thing, and then I'm like, ah! And I, freak out, right? I spaz. You're a Libra moon. You want harmony, okay? You want peace and harmony in your emotions, and, protect your peace. That's what Libra moons do. You protect your peace. You don't want people messing with it. And, you will say things if necessary, but for the most part, as long as your peace is good, as long as you feel balanced inside, that's how you're going to feel the best. Meditation is good. But I don't think, being a Libra moon, you probably don't need meditation, because you probably are a very naturally emotionally balanced person, because like I said, Libra is literally the scales. And they like balance. They like harmony. They like people to get along. I'm trying to think, as moon, for moon and Libra, because Libras are people pleasers. Sagittarius can be people pleasers too. You might struggle with that, but I'm trying to think for like emotion wise, how you'd respond to situations. You're probably going to try to resolve a lot of conflicts, not just among yourself, but like say like, let's say like, and Libras also are like, they're very into relationships, like being in a relationship. So like being in a relationship, instead of a fighter, you're like a lover, and you're going to try to resolve the relationship, and you're going to try to go about it like as well as you can and try to fix things instead of just fight and fight and fight. You want there to be harmony and peace with your emotions. So if your partner is upset, instead of just like raging back at them, you're probably going to try to level things out because you want to feel sane in yourself and you want to feel leveled out. Libra, you're very giving. But it's different because it's your moon. It's how you emotionally respond. It's not really a materialized or personality. Hold on. Let me look into Libra moon a little bit more, because I know a lot of Libra suns and Venuses, but I don't know a lot of Libra moon. So when I don't know a lot or I haven't met a lot of people of a certain placement, I'll look into it more. Oh yeah, I mean, like, obviously this is like, I feel like you probably really like being in a relationship because you're a Libra, and like you might feel like uncomfortable or like disturbed if you're not in a relationship. And my chart ruler is Libra, and I'm the same way. But I don't know. I don't feel like. All right, it says that you may have an issue with being afraid to be open about what you want, right? Because you're such a giving person, so you might feel the need to not talk about what you need and what you want for yourself, because like I said, people pleaser. You give. You're a giver. Libras are known for giving gifts. They're known for being people pleasers. So you might struggle with saying, hey, hold up, this is what I want for myself, like this is what I need. Your Capricorn might help you out a little bit with that because it's an earth sign, it's more grounded, it's more reasonable. You're an air sign, so emotionally you're in the clouds, right? Because like I said, air. And then it's basically saying everything I already said. You need to be open in relationships, because I feel like since you're not really you may have a struggle with communicating what you need in a relationship, that can cause the people around you or in a relationship with you to feel like you're being detached when you just struggle. You could possibly struggle with telling people how you feel and what you need, and to them that might come across as detached. So to avoid that misunderstanding, you might want to try being more open and assertive about what you want. I know that you probably don't like conflict in your life, but sometimes you need to tell people what you need, what you want, and be assertive, assert yourself, because that's a big thing that I even struggle with as being like very Libra influenced. Like I struggle asserting myself in a lot of relationship wise situations, not in other situations, but as far as relationships goes, that's where I struggle asserting myself. So you might struggle asserting yourself, like telling anyone how you really feel. Like say let's for example, right, like your friends want to go out and do something and you worked your ass the whole day, and this is like a very surface level thing, but you can take this deeper. This is just to make it simpler for you. Let's say your friends all want to go out, right? And you've had a long ass day at work, but all of them are telling you, let's go out. So instead of saying, I'm fucking tired and you really don't want to go out at all, or you've had a bad day at work and you're just not in the mood to go anywhere, you want to stay home, you're not going to tell them. And then you might be in a bad mood for the rest of the night and they're like, what's wrong with you? And you're like, and that's how you can come across as attached. You need to let people know how you feel, and it's okay. I feel like Libras fear conflict because they love harmony and balance so much, but at the same time, you need to let people know. If you have an issue with something, let it be known. Or if you're feeling some type of way, just tell people, and they're gonna understand you a lot better than you just coming across as detached and them feeling like, okay, well, what's her problem? Or why is she being like this? And just express yourself instead of just going with what everyone else wants to do and put your own needs first. And then if you calmly explain that to people, then they're going to understand, you know? And I feel like a lot of Libras are so afraid of conflict. 1 second. Go back. The hell? Oh, okay. Yeah, you like calm environments. You don't like messes. You need your zen. You need your peace. Like I was saying before, like you want balance in your life. You need to feel emotionally balanced at all times. So you want a clean space. You want aesthetically pleasing, whatever your aesthetic may be. Libras are big on that. So whatever your aesthetic is, you like to be in an area where it's aesthetic to you, so you feel comfortable in it and, you know, calm. You will need something that makes you feel balanced. You're good at relating to others because like Libras are literally known for being like a peacemaker, right? So like Libras, they're always the one, you might be the middleman in like your friends' fights, right? Because you just want to resolve everything. But sometimes that's not your fucking job. Sometimes those people just need to resolve on their own because you being the middleman might get so stressed out on picking up on how they're feeling, and then you start feeling tense, and you don't want to feel like that. You're a Libra moon. You want to be balanced. So, you know, I know like you're a good person and you want to help your friends and you don't like there being conflict within your group or within your relationship, but sometimes you need to step out and let those two people figure it out on themselves, because I've seen and been that Libra influence person who will get a lot of times into the middle of things so I can resolve it between the two of them, because I don't want there to be problems. I don't like there to be drama. I just want to keep everything balanced for myself and for yourself, for your own emotional well-being. Like I said, keep repeating myself, but I feel like the more I repeat myself, the more you're going to get it. Yeah, you need to stay balanced and within yourself and your emotions. It's a huge thing for Libra. So yeah, it's basically, yeah. Yeah, and you like being around people. You like having people around. Okay, anyways, hi Kede. Let's go to your Mercury. So your Mercury is a planet of intellect and communication. So it's how you talk to people. It's how you think about things, right? It's what you think about. And your Mercury is in Capricorn, which is, like I said, your chart ruler. And I believe it's a feminine sign, actually. Right? Yeah, it is. Okay. So Capricorn, Mercury, witty, funny, quick thinking, but no bullshit, okay? Like I said, Capricorn is an earth sign. Oh, I need to also keep track of it. Hold on. I want to keep track of all your different elements, and then I'll go over those at the end. Okay. Earth signs are rational, grounded, right? You're down to earth. You're an earth sign, okay? So you're going to be down to earth, head on your shoulders. And this is in the way that you communicate with people. You have your head on your shoulders. You're probably not going around spitting some crazy fucking bullshit. You're probably very good at saying what needs to be said and saying it reasonably into a way that where people are going to listen to you when you speak, because your Capricorns are very smart, right? However, Capricorns can also, some people think that Capricorns are like assholes, and they're not. I think they're super funny, but they can come across the wrong way to certain people, but you know, whatever. They're cardinal, so you know, when something needs to be said, you're gonna say it. And I'm not saying, because like we said, with your Libra, you struggle with talking about how you feel, but if you feel like a random situation is wrong, or if like, say like your friend's boyfriend is like fucking her over or doing something wrong, you're not just gonna sit there and take that and be like watching it go down. Like you're gonna say something, like you're going to step in, and you might not step into between the two of them, but you might say something to your friend like, hey, like he shouldn't be doing blah, 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 blah. And you might take that initiative, because Capricorn is cardinal, they take initiative. So you might take initiative when you feel the need to speak on things. However, like we said before, you're not really a confrontational person, but you will say things that need to be said. So say like your job starts fucking you over in some type of way. Also, Capricorns are very work oriented. So with your job, it's probably going to be where you thrive the most, because Capricorns are so work oriented. It's going to be where you thrive the most, where you speak the best, where you come with the best ideas, right, is going to be in your workplace. Where you think the most is going to be about your work, or what, like, not just saying a work like a regular 9 to 5 job. Whatever your work is, whatever your project, your focus, your goal is where you're going to thrive the best in the way that you speak about it, okay? Because you're analytical in that sense. That's your focus, all right? Capricorns can be hard on themselves. You might talk down on yourself a lot. You might get into moods where you're just, I talk down on myself, I'm irritable, like, you're annoying me. Like, you might get like that a lot. You might say things like that. You might say things that are a little smart. You might be a little bit of a smart ass when you're in that type of mood. Then you might just, say a little something. I don't see you as being, looking at your chart, you're not going to be saying some crazy ass shit, but yeah, Capricorns are actually an intense sign. So when you speak, you probably speak with some strength in your voice when it's something that you really care about. And like I said, they're very intellectual signs, very hardworking, very ambitious. So when you're ambitious about something, when you're hardworking towards something, that is when you're going to speak the best. You probably think a lot, you analyze a lot, right? You may overthink a lot because Capricorns overthink so much. My ex is a Capricorn. Oh my God, he overthinks everything. Okay, so, and this is it's in Mercury, which is your planet of like communication and intellect. So you might be overthinking every little thing all the time, and it's just like, chill, like, just chill. Like, everything will happen the way it's supposed to, okay? But Capricorns do struggle with that, and Capricorns are chart rulers, so you probably do have a lot of overthinking, irritability. You might be pretty hard on yourself if you're not succeeding at whatever it is. Like I said, your work, not saying literally job, but if that it is your job, that's great, but it could be whatever the fuck your product is. That is going to be like your biggest, like, if you don't succeed at that, you are going to be maybe in a bad, frustrated mood for the rest of the day. And yeah, you think about what you want to do a lot. You think about your ambitions a lot. You think about your goals a lot, and you worry a little bit too much about your future. You can tell me if any of this is off or on or whatever. I just, like, this is what I'm seeing from, like, what I'm getting from your chart. You might worry a lot about your future, and you might be kind of stuck. You might find yourself getting stuck. You need to ground yourself, right? Even though Capricorn is an earth sign, still Capricorns, from what I've seen, like, they're always thinking about the past or the future, and you really need to work on bringing yourself to the present, okay? And what you're doing right now, not what you're going to be doing in a year from now, not what you did a year ago. You need to ground yourself, and I think you do well with some grounding meditations on how to find that, especially with your moon and Libra, because emotionally you need to be grounded. You need to be in the moment. Everyone does. Yeah, that's your Capricorn and Mercury just kind of summed up. You're a very intellectual person, analytical. You probably think about your work, your job, your future, money. Also, oh my God, I forgot the biggest thing, money. Capricorns are really obsessed with their money, so you're probably pretty financially stable. However, your sun is in Sagittarius, and Sagittarius are horrible with their money, and your moon's in Libra, and Libra spend their money on like a bunch of material items, because I do that, and Civ truly do that. All right, next, let's go to your Venus, okay? Venus in Scorpio. My ex was also Venus in Scorpio. But, okay, so Venus in Scorpio is what I feel like I know the most about. And, all right. Hold on. Okay. So, Venus in Scorpio. Venus is a planet of love and relationships. This is how you are with intimate relationships and love, and just in general. And it's in Scorpio. Okay, so that's a water sign, first of all, and it's fixed. Okay, it's a fixed sign. Like I said, I'll get into all of that kind of in the end. But you're so cardinal. Your chart is so cardinal that this is mainly going to apply to you in relationships, and not most aspects, but mainly like relationships, right? You might get, okay, first of all, you might have a little eye for people a lot. You might be a little flirty. You might always be noticing people and, ooh, you know what I mean? Not in like a bad way necessarily, but you know, you might be a little bit like you're a wandering eye. Okay, and you might not even have that when you're being in a relationship. Which I'm not trying to come at you because trust me, there's so many people like this is like normal human behavior, but you probably do have a bit of a wandering eye when you're in a relationship or not in one, whatever. Venus Scorpio tends to crush a lot, and Scorpio is a water sign. This is the first water sign I've seen in your chart. So water signs are very emotional, very intuitive, very sensitive, and they can be crybabies or whatever, and they're very intuitive, right? You probably have a lot of little crushes, and then you get over them very fast. But when you really like someone, you fixate on them because Scorpio is a fixed sign. So you may fixate on this one person and really like them for whatever reason you have in your head, and it could go away pretty quickly, right? But Scorpios, people say that Scorpios are the most loyal sign ever. I haven't seen that to always be the case. I'm going to look into that more, like what type of Venus Scorpio you are in your next reading when I go deeper. But yeah, I mean, Scorpios, when they really like someone, they're like really obsessed with them. Scorpios are known for being obsessive as fuck. I'm a Scorpio, okay? I know how it is. He was a Scorpio, and yeah, very obsessive, possessive, controlling. And I'm saying all of this, like, these are kind of negative things, but like, I'm a Scorpio and this is how I am. Like, we can be very obsessive, very controlling, want control, want to know everything that's going on with the person. Say you have a crush on someone, right? But you're not really talking to them. You might check their social media all the time to try to figure out who they're talking to and who they're with. And, you know, you might find yourself fixating on a person when you really are interested in them. And then when you actually get in a relationship with them, like I said, like, you know, you might get jealous someone easily. You're either going to be the jealous one. You're probably going to be the jealous one. Sagittarius are carefree, and so are Libras, but Scorpio and then your Capricorn coming into play, you're probably going to be jealous. You probably don't want that person to just go off and do whatever they want. You probably are going to be very passionate about this person for the time that you're with them. Like very passionate and intense, and your relationships probably tend to be very intense. They're not just some peaceful little like chill relationship. You probably have very passionate love. When you do love someone, it's like hard. Like when you fall hard. You might have a lot of little crushes and little flings and little, oh, like he's cute and he's cute. But when you're in a relationship, it's like you're all in. You're all the way in, okay? And Scorpio is ruled by Mars, the planet of war, so you might, you know, get a little testy with your partner, not just a little bit. You could get very angry. However, the rest of your chart you don't even have like barely any. You have so much Libra. You actually have a stellium in Libra. I'm gonna write that down, and you might have you have a Libra stellium, so you're super Libra. I can't see you getting super aggressive in your relationships like most Scorpios would. But the passion, definitely, the intensity, the obsession, not saying like, oh my God, like, but it could be like that, you know, but, you know, you might obsess in your head a little bit about people. And you also, at the same time, while you're all passionate and all for this person and all intense and blah, 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 and you have all these little crushes, at the same time, you don't trust anyone. You're like, I don't trust shit. I don't trust anyone. Your moon and Libra might come into play and be like, oh, but like people are nice and like, you know, I just want to give and help people. But then at the same time, you've got that Scorpio in you that's like, you can't trust anyone. Like, you never know what people are going to do to you. Like, and like, you're just like, you still have a wall up. And it's weird. It's like, it's conflicting, I know, and it like kind of like almost is hypocritical, like, or you know what I mean, of itself. But seriously, like Scorpios are, they're just, yeah, I don't know, they're like very like wary of people. They think that everyone like has like other intentions with them and hidden intentions, and they're very paranoid of people and what that person might do to them. Or like, you know, like it could be the greatest person in the world, but you don't know that because you know that people are going to switch up real quick, and all of a sudden like they're a completely different person than how you thought they were. So you're not very trusting in people. That might come as an issue in your relationships, because I feel like since you have this Libra moon, I feel like in relationships I feel like you have a lot of trust issues with your partner, but it's because of your Libra moon, I feel like you don't tell them. And so you'll just act a certain way or be a certain way, and they won't know what's going on with you, but like you just don't trust them for whatever little reason, right? You might be constantly paying attention to what they're doing when you're with someone. Like, what are they doing on social media? Who are they with? Who are they hanging around? You're not trusting them the whole time. And that's something you really need to work on, is like trust. And not saying that you should trust everyone, but like once that person has proven to you over a certain amount of time, then like, yeah, you need to learn how to like step back and be like, okay, they have proven me that they're a trustworthy person. And it's good to have your guard up. It's good to not trust anyone that comes in your life. Like I'm very influenced by Libra, so like I feel like I know that I've trusted so many people that I've literally just met and been like, oh, that's exactly who they are. Yeah, like they're the best person ever. And then like 2 weeks later, I'm like, oh my god, what the fuck? Yeah, Scorpios are a very intense sign, and that's where you are in love and relationships. You're intense, passionate, not very trusting, and they might not even know that you don't trust them because you're Moon in Libra. You might not even say anything at all. Like I say, like I'm a Mercury Scorpio, a Libra Venus, and a Moon in Aries. So like when I don't trust someone, they know I don't trust them, and it's like too much. But you might say nothing at all, and you're just over there in the corner thinking about, what if he's doing this? What did that little thing mean when he said this? Or when I saw this little thing, what is all that? And you're not saying anything about it, you're just thinking about it. So that's what I see a lot for you. Your Mars is in Virgo. Mars is a planet of, okay, and then this is also another earth sign. And it is also a fucking, yeah, come in. Okay, cool. So this is going to be the last that I do for now. Well, I'm going to explain a few more things. It's not completely lost. But the last, planet that I do for you for this reading. And then we'll go further in depth after you give me feedback, ask me questions. And then I'm also just going to be giving you more in-depth details on things. Your Mars is in Virgo, so Mars is like basically like your goals, your work, right? So it's in Virgo. So whatever job profession you're doing, I feel like you would be thriving at something that's very detail-oriented, analytical, maybe something with even like numbers, maybe, or something where it's just very detail-oriented, fact-based. Like I said, again, Virgo is an earth sign, okay? So you like the reality, right? Grounded. Air signs, head in the clouds. Fire signs are just fucking crazy. They're fiery, they're blah. Water signs, emotional, intuitive, whatever. Earth signs, down to earth, right? So I can see you doing a rational job that's detail-based, detail-oriented, requires analyzing problems, solving problems, rational problems, logical thinking. I don't see you having like a very creative job in that aspect. I feel like you're doing something that's very business-oriented. I feel like you would thrive best with that rather than going the more creative route or doing a more hands-on route. I see you doing something like that's very analytical and like close attention to detail and making sure, like shit like that, because Virgos are super, and they're also perfectionists, so like everything has to be spot on for them. So that's where I see you like thriving in that. So I'm gonna wrap this up by counting all of your different elements. So we have more planets. These are all your inner planets, right? Then we have all your outer planets that don't play as big as an influence on your chart, but they still play an influence. Your outer planets are more based around like you could be like 3 months apart from someone and you're gonna have the same Saturn sign as them. You could be like within like the same year as someone, and their outer planets, because like outer planets don't move around as quickly as inner planets. Like for example, your sun sign, right? Like the sun moves to the next. Like it moves like every month. So that's why like every month is a different sign, right? And then like your moon changes like throughout hours into different signs, okay? And then your Mercury changes, I believe, like it's just slow. I'll show you in the next reading, but basically what I'm trying to say is like, so like for your like Pluto and Neptune, like I'm pretty sure that if it's like anyone in the same year born as you is gonna have the same Uranus and Neptune and Pluto. Yeah, or like even within like not just a year, but like even with those couple years. So that's kind of a generational thing. But I'll go into that later. For now, I just want to get down everything and go over your elements, masculine and feminine, mutable, cardinal, and fixed. And then I will, wrap this up for now. Then I want you to tell me your honest feedback on everything, any questions you have that you want me to clarify for the next reading. And I will be going way more into depth on your houses and your aspects in the next video, as well as your outer planets, but I feel like covering your inner planets is most important because those are the most closest to yourself, right? So, hold on. 6. Which one did I miss? Oh, okay. Yeah, so she is 3 mutable, 2 cardinal, and then, okay. So then, what did I miss then? Oh, the other earth sign, because you have 1, 2, no, yeah, 3, and then you have 1, water, air, fire, Capricorn, Leo, okay, and then yeah, so mutable, cardinal, fixed, masculine, feminine, 3 feminine, and then 4 feminine, and Libra and Sagittarius. Okay, okay. And then we have another Earth. Okay. Fire. Neptune, Capricorn. And then 2 Libras. And then Libra is 2 more cardinal. And then 2 more masculine. And my dad is Gemini. Okay, and then Gemini's fucking okay. All right. So you have 8 masculine versus 6 feminine. Okay, these are your signs. So like basically like there's Taurus and Libra. Both, this is an example. Taurus and Libra are both ruled by Venus, right? But each, like they both, like, so one is going to be masculine and one is going to be feminine, and Libra is a masculine. I always thought it was feminine, and then Taurus would be the feminine version. Okay, so let me explain to you the difference between a masculine sign and a feminine sign. Masculine, it's kind of just like how men are, how versus women are, right? So men tend to be more extroverted. They do better with people. They like being in bigger crowds. And okay, and you, keep in mind while I say this, you're pretty balanced between masculine and feminine, but you're leaning towards masculine energy. I lean towards masculine energy too. You do better in bigger groups, right? You lean towards being an extrovert rather than an introvert, so you recharge your batteries by being around people. That's what makes you feel good. That's what recharges yourself. That's what makes you feel alive and re-energizes you. I have like some notes just so I keep track. Impulsiveness, analytical, logic based, like I said, you're rational more often. And you thrive, yeah, make sure. Act before thinking, like most men do, but I don't. You could do that because you're Sag, but you got that Capricorn placement that is a feminine sign. Capricorn's a feminine side, so I don't feel like you really want to truly act before thinking. Maybe in certain situations, but you're not very, like, you're not wild. You know what I mean? Like, you're not super wild. Like, I know I have a Sag friend who is wild. Wild. She's a Leo moon and Sagittarius rising and Sagittarius sun. She's crazy. I don't see you getting with one of those Sages. I feel like you do think a little bit before you act on things. Unless you're going through it. But anyways, so you're more masculine. And then also that can just mean, like, in general, like, you're probably, like, less girly and you're probably a little bit more, like, into, like, not, you probably are a little bit more of a tomboy, you know what I mean? So just there being that alone, like, it's pretty self-explanatory. And then, so you're mutable, cardinal, and fixed. Mutable also, by the way, so we have mutable, cardinal, and fixed signs. Mutable means you go with the flow, whatever comes your way, you know, you're willing to go swing either way. You're mutual, right? You go either way. You go with whatever comes your way. You know, you're down for this, you're down for that, whatever. You're not a super decisive person. You go with the flow, right? And then fixed means that you fixate on things. And I only see the fixed, you only have 2 fixed signs and you have 5 mutable and 7 cardinal. So the only way that I see you, like, really being stuck on things and not, I don't think you're a lazy person at all. I think the only way that you might fix it on things is being in a relationship, because the fixed sign that you have is Scorpio and it's in Venus, which I said is relationships. And then cardinal, you have 7 of, so you're definitely a go-getter. You make things happen. If you're interested in someone, you're going to make it happen. If you want something, you're going to make it happen. You do, you act, you don't wait for anyone. You do what you want to do. And like I said before, that's an amazing quality, and I was not surprised that cardinal is 100% ruling your chart, because you're a go-getter. You make things happen for yourself. You don't wait for assistance. If you want something, I mean, like, you might go ask for assistance, but you're not going to wait for someone to give you assistance. You're going to go ask them for it. You know what I mean? And then as far as your elements, you have 5 earth and 5 air, which is very interesting because, like I said, earth and air conflict each other, and you have 5 of each. That's interesting to me, and I want to look into that more in the second reading. Because you have 4 fire and then you have 1 water. But I mean, you have 1 water, which means you're probably not very deeply emotional or like intuitive person. You're not into, like, super deep things or deep taboo topics or conspiracies. You know what I mean? You're an earth and air, so you're pretty grounded. You like to think about intellectual ideas and thoughts and different concepts on, like, maybe politics or something that's not very, like, taboo and dark and, like, a spiritual, you know what I mean? You think about things a lot, for sure. You're a very active thinker, but I don't think that you're thinking about things like what my crazy ass thinks about. You're thinking about things like ideas and business and money or whatever the case may be, or especially even clothes, because you're Libra moon, you're materialistic, you're into, like, you could be really into, like, decorating your house how you want. Like I said, you want your house to match your aesthetics so that it makes you feel calm and zen. So you're interested in aesthetics, you know, DIY things like that, hands-on. Yeah, and you're probably, it's weird because earth is grounded and air is in the clouds, so, but earth is ruling your chart because Capricorn is ruling your chart, and that's an earth sign. So I feel like you're probably a little more grounded than you are, but you might find yourself having your whole life being a little bit of a struggle as far as, like, finding a sense of self when you were younger, because you had this conflict of these elements clashing so hard together. Like, I had this too, and it may have been hard for you to struggle and figure out who you really are. It's going to make you a little bit more of a complex person because you have such 2 strong opposing elements just clashing with each other in your chart. So it may, you may in the past or currently still need to do some, like, reflection and, like, on figuring out who you really are, because you might confuse yourself with your emotions sometimes. But yeah, that was the part 1. Okay, so we're going to go way more into depth in part 2, but I just kind of wanted to give you a rundown on how things work in the astrological world. Like I said, if you have any questions, I want your honest feedback. I want you to tell me if things were accurate or not accurate. Like, just let me know everything. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if you want any advice for certain things that you might struggle with in your chart that I brought up. which is basically like, well, yeah, like basically like, you know, like speaking your mind, or like coming and being, trying to be a peacemaker or whatnot. Sagittarius, you might also make impulsive decisions. You might, and Capricorn, you might be a little too stressed out, and being always stuck in the present, or the future, or the past. So, you know, if there's problems that you've seen in this reading that you do feel that you relate to, please give me a good reading, or please give me a review. It doesn't have to be good. However you think it was, give me an honest review. Tell me what was accurate, what was not. Ask me questions. Ask me if there's anything you want me to clarify in the next reading, and I will do that. And I'll probably pull a few tarot cards in your next reading. Your next reading is going to go a lot more into what has happened to you in the past. Your progress chart, it's going to be a lot more in depth. But yeah, this is part 1. Sorry for taking so long. I hope you enjoyed it.